Welcome back. Hey, our next guest is the president and CEO of SupplyHive. And he's here with us today to speak about how the pandemic has impacted the global supply chain. So please welcome to the show, Lou Sandoval. Lou, welcome.
Hi, Bob. Thank you. Thank you for having me on the show.
Yeah, they say that you're the man to come to. You're the go-to guy with all the information.
Well, that's what I hear. But I'm just one of the guys. And there's a lot going on in procurement and supply chain. So I can share with you what our vantage point is from our perspective.
So, first of all, tell us what SupplyHive is and all about.
Well, SupplyHive is what we do for our clients is we're a cloud-based supplier of performance management software. It's a platform. What we do is we help companies rate, review their suppliers at scale, and they harvest that performance data to help the suppliers improve, and consequently, in that improvement, they improve their own business and becoming more efficient. So they gain the data that they get, the insights that they get, they use to drive their business. Return on investment, profitability, a lot of the different factors that go into running a business. So.
Yeah, that's it. Everybody wants to know about the, return on investment. Tell us, what challenges and trends have you noticed in the global supply chain as a result of COVID-19?
Well, it's interesting. There's been a lot of things that have kind of happened. In our particular world, I think there's been a fast forward on a lot of digital transformation of the process. Prior to the pandemic, and ongoingly, there's these large source to pay and procure to pay systems that a lot of companies engage in. They're big 7-figure salaries, but shamefully, a lot of large corporations still manage their suppliers via spreadsheets in the data that they download from those large STP and PDP systems. So in that, and this has been not specific to supplier performance management, but I would say, business as a whole, what the pandemic has exposed is a need to be more digitally aware and digitally, involved with digital transformation. So we've seen that from contactless ordering in the F&B space, but in supplier performance management, it's really starting to embrace platforms such as ours that give them the ability to rate, review, and manage their suppliers at scale versus batches of 50 or 100 at a time, or maybe 500 at a time in a spreadsheet, which is very time intensive, laborious, and inefficient.
But you guys know how to do it. You guys can put it together.
Exactly.
There's a history of what you guys have been doing, right? SupplyHive. Give us that little history of it.
So, the history, real simple history. The company was founded by a serial entrepreneur, Mike Aguiano. And Mike is a visionary from the perspective that, this is what now I think will be his third potential company in a similar space. So he founded the company in 2018. So with the concept, the market fit was tested in 2018 and 2019, and it was found to have some traction. This was done, through a procurement of independent investors, financing from independent investors in a safe and a note round. Then in 2019 and leading into 2020, the minimum viable product, the MVP, as we like to call it in software, was created. Out of that, we used that to attract our original 7 customers. And those customers were Abbott, First Energy, Mars, Fox, Eaton, McDonald's, and a small company called Facebook. And so this basically led to version 1.0 of our software in late 2020. Then, all of this happened in the midst of a pandemic. So while most businesses were shut down and head down on things, our sales team was out doing a phenomenal job of really procuring these 7 enviable brands, which you would probably agree. And my history with the company started in January of this year, where the board of directors brought me on board specifically to help formalize our business processes and set the foundation for the company to be able to scale and grow us. We kicked off a seed round of financing this year, in which we attracted some very impressive investors. The round was led by a company called Loud Capital, who is a repeat investor in us. It was also followed by the former founder of AOL, Steve Case. His fund, Revolution Rise of the Rest Fund, invested in this as well. And then Cleveland Avenue Cast Us, which is a company and a fund started by former CEO of McDonald's, Don Thompson. They invested in us. 68 Capital, a diverse investor. Angeles Investors, and then Service Provider Capital also joined the round. And so really a good stable of diverse founders or diverse VCs investing in a diversely founded company to impact a diverse space. So, I mean, really, we've, since then, we've been on a path to grow our team and continually improve our product to meet the needs of customers and the specific market demands.
Yeah. And Lou, they got the right person for the job. You know how to talk about it. You know what it's all about. What are the benefits of supplier diversity? Well,
there are several, but the biggest one, I think, that speaks to everybody and in terms of what we've gone through in the last, 20 something odd months societally is equity. It's really kind of creating a platform of equity, for diverse companies, as we talk about equity, it's interesting to see that, not everybody gets a shot at, being a supplier to a large corporation. And often in Black and brown communities, we might get pigeonholed into particular sectors. Okay. So supplier diversity, actually, the next advent of that is really kind of looking, using supplier performance management platforms such as ours to really look at your suppliers and say, all right, so where are we using them and where could we better use them? So for example, we do that by being able to create an equitable platform that, highlights what success looks like for the supplier. And in doing that, it benefits the large and the small suppliers equally. So it levels the playing field. Out of the action plans that are created, they're able to see what success looks like. So really, that's really where the equity comes into play. And you get beyond the pigeonholing. And I'll give some examples of where pigeonholing sometimes happens.
Yeah.
You've got in a Latino community, you have traditionally, we might get considered for housekeeping contracts, for landscaping contracts, but often we don't get a seat at the table for IT or consulting or legal. So that's the next phase of this process in terms of driving equity and supplier diversity.
Yeah. And you know what? Diversity and inclusion is so very, very important also in a lot of the companies that I'm in contact with. How is it important with your company?
Well, first of all, being a diverse founded company, but founded by a Hispanic founder and being currently led by a Hispanic, it's everything. The founder has got his story about how, through supplier diversity and somebody believing in his dad, he was able to kind of create his own destiny. For me, personally, I've seen the benefits of being included in a variety of different areas. I'm that guy that has gone to, great lengths to go to areas where there are very few of us, but not only where there are very few of us, but also to be able to leave a path for others to follow. And I previously came out of the consumer goods industry, specifically in the marine category, where there are very few Latinos in the marine industry. I was one of a handful, but in that, I made sure I was transformational to open that door for other Latinos to follow, create awareness about what our buying power is in the world. And here inside the tech space, I recognize I'm probably one of the few Latinos in the tech space. So again, here it's using our voice to create additional awareness of why we should be included and have a seat at the table in technology for both not only Latinos but also for the African American and Asian and other communities.
Lou, what are your plans for the future?
Well, personally, for the company, to grow, to continue to grow, to continue to add logos, to continue to work with large corporations and have them see the benefits of our solution. There's a lot of different insights that we're gaining from the data that we're able to, procure. And companies also are becoming very aware of what they can do with the data. One specific company that has engaged us even further has been the McDonald's Corporation, where we started out in supplier performance management with them. And most recently, they announced they brought us on as a partner to help them manage their promise in the diversity, equity, and inclusion space in what they call their MEC DEI initiative, which stands for, it's an acronym which stands for McDonald's Corporate Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion. And what they're basically doing is they're trying to help all their suppliers become more equitable and inclusive, but they're meeting them where they're at. They're really kind of working with them on that. And it's not in a make wrong kind of way, because, we didn't just show up here overnight. So
Yeah.
I think they've been very responsible in tying not only the awareness that they're creating for their suppliers, but they've also gone one level further in being a very progressive company and saying, we're going to now also tie executive compensation to specific deliverables and DEI. So they're, I mean, at the very high level, they're walking the walk and talking the talk.
Yeah, we learned a lot. Where can we go for more information?
So you can go to www.supplyhive.com and or visit our LinkedIn page, which has a lot of information as well. So.
There you go. Lou Sandoval, thank you so much. President and CEO, SupplyHive TM.
Thank you, Bob.
Lou, thank you. We appreciate you. Thank you for all the work that you're doing and gathering all the information for these wonderful companies that you guys are dealing with. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
No, thank you for highlighting and creating awareness. So, and the more people hear about this, the better it is, because there's a lot of promises being made in corporate America, and we're kind of that stick, we'll call it the ruler by which they're using to measure themselves. So,
all right, thank you so much. Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's show. I want to thank you, our guests, for joining us, and you, our viewers, for tuning in and checking it all out. You can keep following us on Bronx.net TV for continued coverage. I want to thank you for letting us share in this space and time with you. And always remember, what you are is God's gift to you, and what you make of yourself is your gift to God. So choose your choice, and let your choice control who chooses it. Also remember, whether you say you can or you can't, either way, you're right. Of the Dr. Bob Lee, I'll see you over 107.5 WVLS. I love you all. Peace.